Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim coming to you from my home base right here in Boynton Beach, Florida. And you're looking at my 16-foot FQ. Excuse me, I'm choking. That's my 16-foot camper. It's 21.6 feet lengthwise, bumper to bumper, but inside there's 16 wonderful living space. And believe me, it's perfect. I got my little sign here for FedEx because they keep leaving them up here on the porch, and if it rains, they're going to get wet. So I put a sign there. Put them in the shop over there on the floor under that roof, because I get all these packages every week from my gig that they send me. Let me show them to you. It's these right here they send me. These boxes. Here's the cat food. How come they didn't eat it? But somehow or another it disappears. There's one. It'll disappear. How you doing? What's up? He's like, what are you holding? Yeah, there's my Wolf Pup camper by Forest River. I added that Toyota Racing Development sticker on there because I have my Toyota 4Runner and I'm into that stuff. But if you want to live a minimalist life and you'd like to beat the cost of home ownership and property taxes and insurances, it would be great if you could buy an RV, either a pull-behind trailer like this or a one that you drive, or a fifth wheel. There's so many different kinds. You have to decide yourself. But what I have learned is those really tiny ones that they're so proud of, they're like $40,000, Casitas, and I forget the name of the other one. They're very well made, but those are not practical to live in whatsoever. And on the other side of the spectrum, these long campers that you have to have a pull-through site, that you can't just go anywhere. You know, I'm on private property, but even if I had something longer, I couldn't even back it in from the driveway here. I would have extreme difficulty. So there's a lot to say for having something smaller. So this is 16 foot. I would say 25 feet or under, and at least 16 foot would be nice. And even when you get into the slides, as you can imagine, if I had a slide in the front, I think most of them are in the back, that would interfere with my friend right here. I wouldn't even be able to put it out. So, but I'm in a unique situation. If you were in a campsite or an RV park, you wouldn't have someone that close to you. So a slide does make a huge difference, especially in small campers, of the feeling inside. But the whole idea of living in tiny homes or RVs is a great idea to me, because what is living? Living is not in your four walls. It's not in an RV. Living is getting in your vehicle and going to the beach, or going and traveling and, you know, taking walks and hikes and seeing things in this country, you know, or spending your money on other things, not, you know, lawnmowers and a garage full of stuff, and, you know, property taxes and high insurance and all these kind of things, you know. And if something breaks on these, I mean, you just want to make sure your roof is always good, because you don't want any water leaks in them. And you want to make sure you have a good solid floor. But, you know, what's an air conditioner cost? What does a small hot water heater, which is located right here, what would that cost? What does a tire and rim cost? What does, you know, getting some bearings put in the axle cost? What does a tank of propane or a new battery? It's nothing. You know, the cost of ownership, this is the way to go. And if you just take care of them, you're going to be fine. There's my buddy down here. What are you doing? You wanna try and get me to pet you? Is that what you want? I don't know why they like laying on these rocks. Then you pick yourself up a grill. And what's really great about an RV, in my opinion, is, unlike Florida, where it's so hot right now you can't even do it, is you do have a little thing you put out, and some furniture, some chairs, and you're not always in there. You know, you're in there to sleep or watch TV and shower. But a lot of times, if this was parked at a place in the mountains or somewhere where there's a nice lake view or something, you'd be sitting out here and it wasn't, 100 degrees and high humidity and mosquitoes and things that I'm encountering here in Florida. You could simply be sitting right out here, with a fire pit and having yourself a nice cold drink. And I have speakers on the outside, listen to some music. You can put a TV out here and watch a Western or whatever you like. There's lighting. You can string these lights that people do along their awning, to make it really cool at night. It's like fun, it's actually more fun than maybe going out on your patio at a sticks and bricks kind of a place. Unless it's a real nice, with a pool and all that. I'm not disparaging that, but it's really kind of unique when you can move this and your home is where, you move it to. Maybe you're going to go traveling around and you might go to a half a dozen places a year or more, and you get to experience different views sitting out here and having conversations and barbecuing. Put yourself a little table out here. I mean, this is really the life. I love it. And you can buy these. I paid $11,500 for this camper that was hardly ever used, and that's the way most of them are. People buy them and then they use it a few times, and then it just gets parked because maybe they're younger people and they're still working and they don't have the time. So it really depends. I would stay away, and I don't want to offend anybody, from RVs that have had pets. A lot of people that are retired, almost everyone seems like they have one or even two dogs that they have as companions or life companions. But, when you put a dog in a house, what do you have? You have a dog house. And while I like dogs and cats, I don't want to own one because there's a lot of maintenance involved and care, and you have to stop all the time, and they're sleeping in there and they got to do their business, and you got to feed them and everything that goes along with it. But mostly they will create wear and tear and odor and things that I notice. It's just like if I bought a camper and someone smoked, or a car and someone smoked in it. I wouldn't want that. What's up, Mike? So I was just talking to my friend there. He has a boat, and he was just talking to me. So back to what we were saying here. If you get into this kind of a lifestyle and you're a remote worker, you don't have to wait till you're retired. You could do that. Or if you are retired, maybe you got a nice home, you made a lot of money, and you sold that home and you got a nice 401 or whatever, and you could, instead of dwindling it all down, paying for sticks and bricks and having to mow your grass or pay somebody and all this kind of stuff, maybe you might want to travel and minimalize your life and get into something like this. I promote it heavily. And would this be the camper for you? Maybe not. Maybe you need the big one. I mean, I see people with these big diesel trucks and they're pulling these campers that are a mile long. They got triple axles on them, 3-4 slides on them. That's a bit much to me. But I think that if you get a nice size one, dual axle, you got a nice vehicle like a diesel engine or a big V8 that can pull something, 25 feet with no problem through the mountains and everything. I think that would be great. And like I say, all the experiences and memories that you'll have, those go forever. You'll never forget those. So anyway, that's just a little video for you guys. This is what I own, and that's my house, and it doesn't cost much. And even if you do go to a campground or an RV park, they are expensive these days, but I think they're coming down. I think a lot of people are maybe selling these now. They're starting to come down in price. We are in a recession, and some people are having problems, and they need to liquefy, and get more liquidity in their dollars. So they're selling things, homes, RVs, vehicles. Things are turning around a little bit. I think there's some opportunities for people that want to entertain being a minimalist and living this kind of lifestyle. that there'll be a different crowd that'll come behind the ones that jumped in on this when remote working was popular and before they went up in price and everybody was doing this. I think there's going to be a changing of the guard, and that'll be an opportunity. And what happened was, what I was saying a second ago, is the campgrounds and RV parks are very expensive, especially in Florida. And there's a limited number of them because, you know, we got palm trees and beaches, but there also comes a lot of heat. I would love to be out west with this low humidity, or I'd like to be in the mountains for a while for altitude and cool air at night to have a fire. So the nice thing about living like this is you can move around. You can be sitting around out here one night having a conversation, and you might come up with the idea of like, hey, why don't we get those wheels turning on that camper and let's pull it with our nice truck and go 1,000 miles from here and change our scenery. And you can do that. And with a house or a condo, you know, it is what it is. Unless you take a cruise or go off somewhere and get a hotel and, you know, spend a lot of money. Just think what you're saving on hotel fees when you can live every night wherever you go in a camper or an RV. Maybe you might want to get a driving kind and pull your vehicle. You can do that too. There's so many options in the RV world, but they're not all minimalist ways. I mean, when you get into those ones that you drive, it's got to have high maintenance, and if they have to go in, you don't have a house to live in because they need to keep it for weeks because they are running behind or whatever. I say it's something that you can pull that's not going to be, you know, anything you have to take in for any long time, or you can do a lot of it yourself. I wouldn't want anything with a motor in it. I'll let the motor be in my tow vehicle. So I promote a fifth wheel or a camper versus a driving one. And plus that's less cost, much less cost. Now, if you're a zillionaire, you know, those ones that you see that the movie stars have, those big Prevos, those diesel pushers, it sure would be nice to drive one once and to go around in it. Big old fancy thing. They look cool. But that's, you know, that's a dream world. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for viewing my video. I hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn some more things about minimalistic living and how to save money and places to go in retirement life, what to do in Florida. I try to bring you guys some good content. Let me know by clicking that subscribe button, and I'll be letting you know. All right? But whatever you do, every day when you go out there, make sure you thank the good Lord for what you have. Make sure that you always remember to crush it.